Here we are on our way to Alila Yangshuo. We're here because of the grand opening. After nearly 4 years of design works and many meetings and installations, it's D-Day. We're going to do some final testing and commissioning. And then on Saturday we've got the opening. So very excited.
In year 2006, we came across a vacant factory, which is empty. It was built back in the early 50s. We looked at the site and we said, oh, this is a very nice old building, we could restore it.
We are looking at the conversion of old heritage interiors into a modern public facility.
I remember sitting here around, braziers in project meetings in the freezing cold.
It's very special because it's very rare that we get a project which a client actually sees the importance of going through the whole process with us.
The feature is the fact that it's an old sugarcane factory that has been redeveloped as a hotel. All the old heritage buildings are actually now the public areas. It has been quite an interesting and challenging journey because it's not like your regular light up and you create something new. No, it's something that you create within something existing.
Because we have the factory, the old industrial heritage in the center of the site. So all the new additions, you have to show enough respect to the old existence.
非常的好灯光，因为这个项目很难得的是，因为它有老建筑和新建筑的关系，而且在一个自然山水的里边，所以灯光把这些关系串联起来就变得非常的重要。
Right. I think we should move it a bit further out. This one. We are now doing the final aiming of the gallery space. So what we're trying to do is to arrange all the lights to first of all bring out the artworks, but there's also some seating arrangements where people can sit here and enjoy. We do that in 3 levels. One is the artwork, which should be predominantly coming out. Then we have some soft lighting for the seating arrangement, and then there's some general lights to sort of fill up the space. So you're coming in, so the light has the same direction as your viewing.
当然，我认为最有挑战的还是酒吧。
Now we're in the bar, which used to be the old factory production area. We've just encountered a little issue that we had some troubles in achieving the right balance of dimming and lighting levels. We're resolving that at the moment. But it has been one of the things that we have found throughout the whole project, where we're trying to balance budget and quality and the ability to create the right lighting levels for the right areas.
We have to work with what they give us on site. If we don't have it, we don't have it. We have to find our ways around it. Okay. So now we have to decide another 2 scenes with this, whether we have this or whether we have this or we have both. We have to solve.
These are the 6 scenes that we can probably. So we are in the main hotel building at the moment, where we have the guest rooms, and you can hear from the background noise that we are along the main road as well. This building has a very specific feature, which is the open stone structure. Using natural stones from the region allows light during the day to come in, but the way we did the lighting is that during the night the light will sort of radiate out towards the outside, creating a lantern effect of the building.
We want to use something to soften the hard feeling of the concrete geometry. So we have this kind of local bamboo art installation to have some balance or combination between this nature and industry.
This used to be a deck, and this used to be a supporting system to crane whatever products were made in the factory down to the river and onto the boats and to trade them off to wherever they needed to go. We try to maintain as much of the original feel as possible. So the lighting has been concealed along the columns to emphasize the architectural strength of this whole structure. But we've actually provided lights to light up the trees in the background to give a visually much more bigger feeling of the space. Another feature is the linear light that sort of edges out the pool. You can see here there's a little gap between the overflowing water and then the drain. And in between here, underneath, we've got a little linear light that runs all along, and at night it's sort of a safety thing so that people know where the water starts and where the solid ground stops. It's a very subtle way of delineating the pool and giving also dimensions to the space. Another element that was reinforced by the lighting is the architectural roof structure. As you can see, there's a double level roof which has ventilation space in between. At night there's light behind and it comes out very strongly.
This project is very special because of location. In Chinese, we talk about the mountain and river. If you need to have a good place to stay, you need to have a water and mountain together. And this site has.
Because the river can have some very high fluctuations in water level, we made sure that all the lights are at the pool level. There's no light below there because they could be submerged and we could have all kinds of problems. So one of the key important things in lighting design is also about what not to light, because there's a tendency to light up everything and then there's no differentiations anymore. So we try to pick and choose what we light. And also in the landscaping, when we talk about pathway lighting, we didn't want to have light fixtures that look like coming from a shop. So this is like the concrete brick that's also used in the building. And this is a metal cover that sort of hides the light that's inside. And at night we've got a nice little warm spread of light. And the materials look totally natural and fit with the rest of the building. As you can see, there's a lot of water surfaces. So one of the key considerations in the lighting design is to use those surfaces to reflect what's going on outside. So at night you will see this will transfer into a reflective pool where you see the building reflected, you see the trees reflected, and you see the lighting also reflected. And it gives a really nice and a really magical feel about the space.
I think the water is very important, the reflecting pond. It gives you a new dimension to perceive the entire structure, which I think is spectacular.
这里边实际上对 Martin 最挑战的应该是老房子的灯光的关系，特别是我们那个餐厅，我认为他做得非常的棒，我很欣赏。对，因为他处理了几个这种混凝土旧的材料和钢板的材料和光的关系。
来造桌子，
就是他如果最多客人的话，有4桌的话，可能这一桌、那一桌、那一桌、那一桌。
4
4桌嘛。
对，就是。
I think one big role I play in this project is really translating, because so many things are going on so fast sometimes. I can't bring every word across, but I try my best to bring across the main message. And one thing is, in this project, we have a very prominent interior designer and architect who sometimes tend to speak a bit in poetry. So when they talk about their design, they're so passionate about it and they use a lot of Chinese terms which is impossible to translate to English. So in a way, part of the translation process involves me trying to get the gist of it and putting that across.
We have a really special situation that I've not encountered in any other project, is that we are right in the middle of a spectacular light show that takes place on the Li River every night.
We're trying to create a very calm and silent atmosphere at night, right? But all of a sudden you see this very neon light because there's another show.
This involves big 10 and 7 kilowatt floodlights that lights up the mountains in the back. These lights come up and then they light up everything. They come in white and in green and blue colors. And it sort of is an added feature, but we had to deal with it when we did the lighting design for this project. We needed to sort of balance it off, because after it switches off, it becomes quite low in lighting levels. We had to bring out the mountains in as part of the whole experience here. We have put specific floodlights that sort of highlight the rocky parts of the mountains, and that is then complemented with uplights for the trees at the lower level.
what I love about this project is there is a lot of daylight. So you really see how architecture is integrated into space, and then how lighting plays the role of complementing the daylight and then reversing it and creating a very nice night effect.
The great thing is that the guest experiences the hotel during the day, but when the night time comes through and the lighting comes on, it almost becomes a different experience for the guest, and that's what we love. People forget and people push aside lighting when it comes to design and architecture and hotels, because a lot of owners, whether you're in China or Southeast Asia, they want lighting to be bold and brash and quite luminescent. Whereas with this project, you can see that you were given the full autonomy to control that lighting and to focus that lighting and to ensure that that lighting was really highlighted in the architecture and the interiors of the property.
So it's night time. As you can see, I'm holding an umbrella because it's currently raining. We've had just the opening, but it's considered good fortune if it's raining. Water is a sign of wealth, so we have all good hopes that this property is going to be very prosperous.